Hey, Mike McGroarty from freeplants.com. Today I'm gonna give you, it's that time of year. I want to give you some tips on planting bulbs for the fall. Basically, I've got some tulips here that Pam picked up. These are second to bloom, it says. But anyway, a lot of people get confused when you plant a tulip. And I'm going to come in kind of close, any kind of bulb. When you come in close, this is the top of the bulb. You know, so when you plant them, you got to make sure that you have them right side up. If you have a small bulb and you're looking at it and you can't figure out which is the top and which is the bottom, put it in the hole sideways. The other thing is, there are certain rodents that, like squirrels, that they really like a lot of different bulbs. They don't particularly care for daffodils, so sometimes people mix daffodils and tulips. That was to discourage the squirrels from digging them up and eating the tulips. Whether that works or not, I really don't know. But one thing that some people do, if you really have a bad squirrel problem and you know they're going to dig them up, they actually wrap the bulb with steel wool to keep the tulips or to keep the squirrels from digging it up. So anyway, plant them right side up. This is a tulip. You want to plant this 6 inches deep for tulips and about 4 inches apart. But when you put adding bulbs or even annual flowers, any kind of flowers to your garden, you want to put them in really tight groupings and don't just like scatter them. Don't grab a bag of bulbs like this and just go every 3 or 4 feet around your flower bed, because it's not going to look good. You're just going to kind of get lost in the clutter. But if you plant them in a nice tight mass, and that's what I'm going to do here. I've got this bed that's got, this is coral bells, and there's an open area here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few of these out and I'm going to move them back and fill in some of the open areas, and then I'm going to have a mass planting of bulbs right here. So that's what I recommend, is that you put them in there really tight so you've got that mass planting and they really show up. So I may do some here, I may do some on the other side. I got different beds around the house, but I'll put masses, 15, 20, 30, 40 bulbs in one spot. So that's the tip. The other tip is get them in the fall, get them plenty deep enough. And I'm going to show you a tool that I use. Now, of course, this is overkill, but I have this thing from many, many years ago. In the landscape business, we used to use this drill for railroad ties. But you can buy an auger like this at the hardware store. That's kind of a manual thing. It's relatively inexpensive. But I picked up that bit somewhere. So this is, So yeah, I cheat a little bit. But again, if you dig a hole manually, or you can use a trowel, but you want to get them down 6 inches because the frost can actually push them up out of there. So the deeper the better. Basically, that's about it. Put some bulbs in your landscape, put them in nice tight masses. Don't put one here helter-skelter. Put them in group plantings, mix them up, put the higher stuff in the back, lower stuff in the front, and try and time your bloom sequences. So, real short, but that's about fall bulbs. Thanks a lot. I'm Mike from freeplants.com.